Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet, coming in from Anarchapulco with Angel Clark, who's just moved down here to Acapulco, and she's loving it from everything I can tell. We're going to ask her all about it, but the first question I have to ask everybody is, how did you become an anarchist?
You know, when I first started getting involved in politics, I had been a Democrat because I was anti-war. I was 18. Bush was bombing places. I was like, you know, I hear that the Democrats are anti-war, so I'm going to join the Democrats. And then the 2008 election cycle happened, and Barack Obama came into office. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Ron Paul. But Obama came into office, and I believe his third day in office, he started droning Pakistan. And it kind of clicked in my head then that both the parties are the same. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'll start working with third parties because maybe they can make a difference. And I quickly found out that third parties will sell themselves out just as fast. That they're all about name recognition, that they basically just want to be little mini Republicans and Democrats. And I realized that, look, I'm okay if someone else wants to have a government, as long as they don't force me to be involved. You know, as long as you do what you think is best for you and you don't force me to do anything, I'm happy. So, you know, I tend to prefer the term voluntarist because I like the idea of a voluntary society. But, you know, I think that the term anarchy has some very negative connotations tied to it. And I know you're fighting to change that. I know that you are. It's going to be difficult, I think, though.
Well, there's a little bit about it too with me. I like to be a little bit, provoke people a little bit.
I haven't noticed.
So I tend to use words that might provoke a reaction rather than saying voluntarist, which I think is a great thing to do. If you're an anarchist or voluntarist out there, if you're meeting just these regular sheeple on the street and they ask you, you know, what's your beliefs? Just say I'm a voluntarist, and they'll ask you a question. They'll feel all nice. Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, voluntarist. I mean, that sounds good. Voluntary.
Yeah.
You know, not aggressive. It's a good way to kind of ease people into anarchy.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And of course, you've got a very popular radio show, The Angel Clark Show. I've been on it a few times.
Yes,
you just did your first one from Anarchapulco here in Mexico.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, so let's talk about Mexico. So you just came down 10 days ago.
I had never visited. All right, I had never visited. I had never been to Mexico. I'd never been to Acapulco. But my significant other and producer, Famous Dave, he watched a video featuring you, and you were talking about Acapulco. Now, he's been trying to get me to leave the country for years, right? But he was thinking Singapore, and I'm like, man, Mandarin's going to be really difficult to learn. Oh, everyone speaks English anyway, you'll be fine. But the instant he said Acapulco, I thought warm weather, sunny beaches, this is perfect. And it's surreal here. I keep, like, I used this analogy before. It's like, you know, Christmas morning comes and you're a little kid and you look under the tree and there's all these presents and they're so pretty and they're beautiful, and you have this hope because inside every present could be the most wonderful thing in the world, right? And so I expected, I had this hope. It was like a Christmas tree with a ton of presents underneath, and let's just say I've been disappointed a few Christmases. So I was like, all right, well, my hopes are up, but it could be anything. And this place has been like, you know, you unwrap a present that looks beautiful and inside is a pony. Because that's what every little girl wants, is a pony. So it's like, you know, I opened it up and here's a friggin' pony inside this place. I have not been disappointed with a single thing. This place is paradise. I am amazed. I love it.
Yeah, it's been fun to see you see it, because I've been in and out of here for about 6 years, and when I first came here, I loved it as well. And I know I've been saying on the internet a lot, like a lot of people say, oh, I hear Mexico's dangerous, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, of course that no place is perfect. Of course, if you go to the wrong bar at the wrong time and you're just selling the wrong things to the wrong people, something can happen. But in general, it's crazy.
People have gone out of their way to help us here. In fact, when I left, right, my mom and my dad both said, be careful. I heard it's, be careful, stay safe. I know it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I haven't seen anyone get mugged or raped or shot or killed or knifed or even yelled at. And we've been literally walking the streets of this entire place now for 10 days looking for places to live, right? So houses to rent. And I haven't seen a single act of aggression, a single act of theft. Very dangerous here.
And we've been out to all hours in the morning as well.
We have.
And
we have.
I don't know if we can say Famous Dave was playing the drums at one there.
Oh my! I love this story because listen, my significant other, he's a musician and he's quite good. We go into a club and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Which is actually a relatively busy time for clubs here. They're open whenever, all hours. Right?
When the last person leaves.
Exactly. There's no last call. Yeah. So we're relatively, we've been drinking, and we go into this bar, and there's a band playing, and first Famous Dave jumps up on the bongos, right? And he starts playing the bongos up there, and then he jumps on the drum set. Now, if you're in a bar in the United States, and you jump on stage with the band and start playing their instruments, what happens?
SWAT team.
SWAT team. At least you get kicked out. At least the cops are called. They got mad at him when he stopped playing.
Yeah, it's totally different down here, and that's why I'm excited that so many people, so many of my friends are coming down here for Anarchapulco.
It's going to be amazing.
Looks like it's going to be hundreds of, like, pretty much almost every past Anarchast guest. So many people we know. It just looks like it's going to be amazing. And so many of them are going to be like you. So you're going to be able to see it from my side. You're going to be laughing. They're going to be like, so can I cross the street when I'm not on the sidewalk? And you're going to laugh at them the same way.
There's no crosswalks here. It's little things, all right? There's little things that I have to get used to about being free again, things that you take for granted in the United States. So if you're in the US and you go to cross the street in a city, you look for a crosswalk. That's what you do, because there have been people that have been tased and arrested in the United States for crossing the street that's not at a crosswalk. But here, they don't have crosswalks. You cross the street when you look both ways and feel it's safe to cross the street. That's all it is. I mean, there was, I watched an entire family cross the street, not at a crosswalk, at 11 o'clock at night, crossing a major highway, and somehow, without government help, they survived.
It's a miracle.
Right, it is. It's a miracle.
Like somehow they looked, and if they felt like a car was coming and they were going to get hit, they wouldn't walk.
Yeah. Common sense.
I don't know how they can do it all in their brains so quickly.
But there are other little things too. So like we were out and we had been drinking and I wanted to smoke a cigarette, right? So I take my cigarette and I go outside to smoke, and the bouncer says to me, you know you can smoke inside, right? Like it was reflex for me to go outside and smoke because, you know, that's what you do in the US. You have to go outside to smoke.
Yeah, it's really hard to get used to going. You'll see this if you ever go back to the U.S., which actually
I don't
really want to ever go back. But if you're forced to or you have to for something, after, let's say, a year of living in a place like this, you'll be like me. And I go to a lot of these conferences and stuff, and people are like, why are you always so unhappy here? And it's like, you don't understand. Like, I'll go outside to smoke, or first of all, I'll try to smoke inside. Forget about that. And then, you know, bouncers and everything, because I forget.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot that.
Just like I forgot and went outside to smoke.
Right, same thing. So then I walk outside to smoke, and they'll be like, you can't smoke here. And I'll be like, I'm outside. And they're like, not within 30 feet of the door. It just goes on and on until you're essentially just like, I just want to go home. I just can't, you can't do anything.
I can't take it anymore. Like this place has just been, it's been a dream come true. It really has. And now it's all kind of sinking in. Like you know, I used to go to Pork Fest every year, the Porcupine Freedom Festival in New Hampshire every summer. And that always felt like a little slice of heaven because there were all these people just living free, right? I think the last one I went to had like 1,500 people. And it was amazing and a wonderful thing to see. We're in a city right now, an entire city that's Pork Fest. That's it.
Yeah, on the beach.
Yeah, I like warm weather. Right now it's like 85 degrees. There's a slight breeze, and it's been around this temperature the entire time that I've been here. So I'm adjusting. There are a lot of little things that I have to adjust to, but I haven't had any like culture shock. Like, all right, so every night here, fireworks. Every night, someone just now. I came from Delaware. And in Delaware, fireworks are bad unless the government's setting them off. The government can set off fireworks. You and I can't set off fireworks. Every night here, someone sets off fireworks for a few minutes, and half the time you can see it over the bay, and it's beautiful. And here's the highlight, though, is in the United States, I was terrified of fireworks. When I was 3 years old, my parents took me to like a 4th of July show. I said my first ever sentence, I got to get out of here. I couldn't stand the noises. I hated it. But for some reason here, the fireworks are fantastic because it's just people celebrating because they're happy and they want to celebrate. And that's it. It's not a forced holiday. It's not a $120,000 fireworks show that's meant to intimidate. It's hey, let's set off some fireworks and really get this party started.
Yeah, it drives my chihuahuas crazy. That's the only downside. I don't know if you noticed that. I think it's completely insane every single night. And it goes off at any hour. It can start around 9. And sometimes I heard one just the other night on like a Tuesday night around 4 in the morning. And
it's not bad though. Like I've been able to sleep through the 4 o'clock in the morning ones. There
was just one in particular that must have been just right up here.
It was right. I mean, you could see it. It was right over the mountains right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not usually that close. Yeah, so you're looking for an apartment right now, and so one thing I want to sort of point out, and you can tell us a story or two about that if you'd like, and we'll try to keep this short because you've got to go look at apartments. I've got some things to do. We've got stuff to do down here. We're busy living our lives, but you're looking for an apartment right now, and so why don't you tell us a little bit about what that's been like, and then what I want to say at the end of it is definitely check out all your stuff because you're like taking photos and videos of everywhere you go.
So here's what I've been doing is my significant other and myself, we came down here with $500, $500 US dollars. Now, my family kept telling me, you're going to starve on the streets. You can't leave the country with less than $2,000. My little brother says you need to save up $5,000, and I'm like, if I wait to save up $5,000, I'm never going to do it. I want to show people that they can come to a freer place with just $500 and they can make it work. So we've been looking at houses, and there are at least 4 or 5 places for rent on every single street that you go through. Now, there isn't like a real estate agent you can call who will show you all these places. You just have to go and call the people themselves.
Which is a business opportunity.
Indeed, it's a business opportunity. Shh.
Oh, yeah,
we're doing that one.
Don't worry, it's C30 more down here.
And
this week.
But so what we've been doing is we've been looking at all different kinds of houses. The cheapest one that we've looked at has been $300. The most expensive has been $850. And we're recording everyone to just kind of show people this is what you can do. You can come down here and you can get a place a block and a half from the beach. I mean, the place that we were looking at today might be the place that I ultimately pick because I want a bathtub. Now, apparently people here don't have bathtubs. It's not very common. They like showers. I know I'm spoiled about some things. But so the place we're looking at today had 2 bedrooms. It had a bathtub. It had this huge like kitchen and living area. $400 a month, man. 3 blocks from the beach. And the lady's like, you want this, I'll get you this. You want that, I'll get you that. Like they're bending over backwards to help us because they have so many places to rent with no one to stay here. But there is a catch. If you're coming down here and you're looking for a job, there are a ton of business opportunities, but you have to use your mind to do it. You can't just go and get a job at a local retail store. You need to actually be an entrepreneur and come up with original ideas and things to do. And there are a ton of opportunities here. So many. I mean, we walk down the street and see 20 different things that we could do in a single day. But you're not going to be able to say, get a job at Starbucks and live like you're used to living.
Yeah, no, that's totally true, and you don't want to. I mean, there's like you just pointed out, there's so many. Like Famous Dave, every time I see him, he's like, Why is no one doing that? I'm like, they don't care down here.
It's a different mentality.
Different culture.
It's like the store. We went to a store and they ran out of cigarettes, right? They've got the sign that says, cigarros sold here. They've got pictures of packs of cigarettes, and you go in and they're out. And it's like, well, why don't you order more? What? It's not time to order yet. They do business differently here. So if you are a business-minded person, you could come down here and just make a heck of a living.
Yeah, and one of the other things to point out is there's so many ways to make money on the internet, which is how you are doing most of your things. You're doing, I don't know if you can say exactly what you're doing.
I have my radio show, and then we also have advertisements on my website. So I post news on my websites. I do a lot of social media, so I do social media for people, and then I also narrate audiobooks. So basically, all I need to do is I can take my studio and take it anywhere in the world, and I make the same amount of money. But of course, I'm going to do other things because I like to make money. I love making money.
That's great. Let's wrap this up. But maybe we'll have you on again. Maybe at Anarchapulco, we're going to do a lot more videos and stuff. And you're going to be doing some videos. I'm going to be on your show. This will probably be too late by the time people see it on tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it'll be on the internet. We'll be recording it. It'll be on YouTube. Why don't you let people know where they can find your show?
RadioFreedom.us is the website. It streams live on LRN.FM, which is Liberty Radio Network, which they've got some really great shows on there. If you haven't checked it out, you absolutely should. But so those two places are the best. And then we also, the podcast afterwards goes on iHeartRadio and iTunes and on, we use this Spreaker as our podcasting company. So it's all over. It's kind of hard not to find it. Mm-hmm. Just Google Angel Clark. You'll find me. And I just also, I want to again say that this place has been paradise for me. And I want to make sure I extend a thank you to you because without your videos, without Anarchast, I would still be living in the United States, miserable. I would be in 40-degree weather right now. I wouldn't be able to be wearing a bathing suit, and I certainly wouldn't have this huge smile on my face. So thank you.
Oh, no, Jeff. It's my pleasure, and that's really cool. That's happened so many times, and it's going to happen a lot more at Anarchapulco. So I'm really glad to show people this other way of living. It's not for everybody, but it's for people living in the U.S.
It's for a lot of liberty-minded people.
Yeah, for sure.
It really is.
So check it out. We'll have the links all down below to Angel's show in Anarchapulco. It's going to be February 27th to March 1st, right over there. And it's going to be the exact same weather. It's the exact same every day, and there'll be fireworks every night, and it's going to be a lot of great people. So come on down. Angel will be there. Famous Dave will be there. We'll all be there. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope to see you down at Anarchapulco. Entonces, gracias por Anarchast. Peace, love, and anarchy.
This is Anarchast.